Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be giving you guys a complete Power League guide. So going through every single map, giving you guys my best picks, best bans, and whatever else you need to be able to get towards that Masters rank. So as you can see, I'm getting close myself. Even though I had Legendary 3 at the beginning of the season, still not got Masters just yet, but a few more weeks I can get that. And also, if you're looking at around like the Gold Diamond level right now, I'm doing a free-to-play to Masters series on my second channel, so I can also help you guys out. I also stream a lot of Power League, so if you guys want all of these tips, definitely stick around. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. So also, before we get into today's video, make sure you're using the credit code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it. All right, guys, so starting off with the first mode is Bounty, and starting off with the first map, Dry Season. So as you can see by the best picks and bans, Tick is going to be by far the best first pick to have. So if you haven't got that first pick, make sure you're banning Tick because he's just too strong. He's just basically good against every single archetype inside of Bounty, and especially on this map. Sprout going to be decent as well, even though he can get countered a little bit easily by the aggro. He's just still a really good pick on this map just because of how the map is designed. Jean going to be really good in the middle, but you can have multiple mid brawlers. So the mid brawlers that you really want to pick on this map are the likes of Ruff. Well, Ruff can play lane or the mid. Jean in the mid, Bell, you can play lane or mid, but those are the type of brawlers that you want to pick towards the middle. Then you have multiple options. You can go with Brock to wall break the back walls of the enemy base, because it's going to be a really defensive map. Basically, this map, it all depends on that first star. Whoever gets that first star normally is going to be winning the game, so make sure you're focusing on that. To be honest, it doesn't really matter what comp you really use, just obviously just bear in mind that Tick pick. So that's going to be the first map right there. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, so next up we have Canal, Grande. The same story really with Dry Season. Tick and Sprout going to be your best options. Stu also a really good pick on this map, because you've got his wall break gadget. You could just wall break a couple of pieces of walls in the middle, and it's just going to be completely open, allowing your long range brawlers just to absolutely destroy people. So as you can see as well, you got 3 sharpshooters in the next best picks. Piper, Bell, and Brock are going to be insanely good. So Brock's going to be even better if you're facing off against a thrower, because you can open up the map and counter them a little bit easier. Of course, if they've got like a Sprout, try and stay away from the sharpshooters as much as possible, but of course you may have to pick that Brock if you haven't got anything else to choose. Jean's just an overall good pick just for everything. He's just good against aggro, good against long range brawlers as well. Ruff's going to pair really well with throwers and also the likes of Jean. You can obviously use the heal star power with Ruffs, and it's just going to be really strong if you all group up and get a lot of HP. Byron going to combine really well with tanks and just also with every single brawler inside of this map. You can just stay really far back, really passive, just shoot your teammates pushing it into the bush. But with this map, make sure you at least got one side covered and you should be golden. So that's going to be Canal Grande. Let's hop into the next one. Okay, so moving on to the next map, we have Layer Cake. So I've not had a chance to play Layer Cake too much in the rotation. For some reason, I just don't play this map really at all, but from the last time I played it, probably a few weeks ago, these were probably the best brawlers there. So Stu again going to be absolutely insane, especially with that wall break gadget. You can just walk up to the mid, just wall break literally everything, get a free kill, and a lot of these brawlers are going to be really squishy, so Stu's just going to absolutely destroy them. Tick and Sprout also next best picks. Tick as always just going to be really good, especially on this map. You know, there's really narrow lanes. It's going to be really hard to push a Tick if he's just continuously keeping his ammo and keeping you back. So next best picks again, you got the Piper, Bell, and Brock. Brock going to be insane down the lane because all he needs to do is tap you once and gadget you. That should be good. Jean just good everywhere. You can put him in the mid, you can put him down the lane. Just depends on the combination you're facing. And then you've got 3 aggro picks towards the end here. So if you're one of the last few picks and you can assess the enemy comp, so for example, if they have like a Tick and a Sprout, or like a Sprout and a Piper, you know, Mortis and Carl and Buzz are just going to absolutely destroy that composition. So make sure you're picking carefully on this map and you should be able to get the dub. Let's hop into the next one. Okay, so lastly for Bounty, we have Shooting Star. Don't really get the chance to play this one as well, but I don't think the meta's shifted whatsoever from the last time I covered Shooting Star. So as you can see by the best picks and the bans, there they are right there. So Nanny going to be the best pick by far. So if you haven't got that first pick, make sure you ban in Nanny. Nanny by far the strongest brawler on this map, especially with the peep. with the return to sender gadget. She's just completely made it for this map. Piper the next best pick as well. Well, when Nani's not in play, Piper will just basically counter every single brawler on this map. She's just absolute beast, especially with that gadget. Tick gonna be also a good pick in the middle, but you gotta be really careful for that counter pick with Brock. Brock's a really good counter to Tick on this map because you can just use the gadget to break open those 2 mid walls, and then it's going to be completely open for Tick. So if you're up against a Brock as yourself, you probably want to go over to the left hand side where there's another wall. You don't want to stay in the middle if everything's all broken up. Next best picks, you got Belle, just really good at long range. You guys know Belle's just so strong. Byron going to be really good in the middle. You can just keep shooting your left and right lane, keep them healed up, and also just really good at tapping as well. Jean, good for trickling people down. Max, really good if they have a couple of long range brawlers. Max can cause absolute chaos. And then Sprout in the middle and Leon as well. So that's going to be Shooting Star. Let's jump into the next mode. Okay guys, so jumping into the next game mode, which is Brawl. Starting off with Pinball Dreams. So I actually realized that Brawl only has 3 maps. I think every single other game mode has at least 4, which Brawl is probably the most popular game mode and the easiest to have balanced maps. So a bit surprised by that one. But anyways, going into the best picks and bans. So as you can see, Stu again going to be by far the best pick, especially down the lanes of those mid walls. You can just use a gadget, break through them, win your lane so easily. Just such a broken brawler in this meta. Barley going to be so dominant on this map. Literally either lane, you're going to be able to spawn trap the entire enemy team by just a Barley pick. So that's how strong Barley is on this map. Just one super is going to basically confirm you a goal if you coordinate it well enough with your team. Sandy's going to be insane down the lane. I don't think there's really any brawler that counters Sandy on this map other than them throwers, just because of how strong he is, especially with that stun gadget. It's just absolutely insane. You just got so much wall peeking ability. I don't think there's anything that can actually take him on. So with this map, and just like I think every single Brawl map, I don't tend to pick the mids first. I tend to leave them towards the last because there's three mids you can pick as seen. So the strongest 2 are going to be Belle and B, but Belle does counter B a little bit. B is just going to be really good for the 3k shot, and then Jean's going to be good in case the enemy team go a little bit more aggro, so the pool can really help break open the lanes as well. So you got other good lanes as well. Griff good at breaking open the lanes. Dynamite would be a good last pick, especially to counter Barley and other lane brawlers. Like Dynamite should be able to wreck all of these lane brawlers except for Surge. Surge really strong as well. So those are going to be the best picks for Pinball Dreams. Let's hop into the next one. Okay, so next up we have Pinhole Punt, one of my favorite maps inside of a game. I love playing this map. So going into this one, again with the mid picks, you've got 3 good mids inside of this map. So just try and stay away from them as much as possible. You want to get the good lane brawlers first. So best picks, Stu as always, just completely dominant. Stanley's going to be insane on this map as well because that super's just going to cover so much of the map and push the enemy team back really easily. Sandy going to be an amazing pick. Not much to really counter Sandy again on this map once he gets super once. And then you have the Rico pick down the lane. Rico with the new gadget, you guys know, is absolutely insane. And especially on this map, it's just really easy to pinch with your mid. Rico can obviously ricochet around the wall. He's going to easily destroy the people that are hiding in that grass down the lane. It's just a really strong pick on this map. So next best picks down the line and especially down the lane. And you got Tara with the pet. It's going to be a really good counter in case they go like a Stu or something like that. Just really good for pressure, especially once you get that pull. So it's just going to be decent overall. Spike going to be really strong as well. I didn't include it on Pinball Dreams, probably should have. Spike really good in Brawl right now, especially with that new gadget. Barley going to be really strong. I wouldn't really pick Barley first here because it still could get pressure back a little bit easier. But once you can assess the enemy comp, and if you're facing, for example, like a Spike on the enemy team, like a Tara, then Barley's going to be able to do a lot of damage. So that's going to be Pinhole Punt. Let's hop into the next one. Okay, so lastly for Brawl, we have a Super Stadium. So again, with the mid picks, just leave them towards the last picks. You're going to be able to get a good mid no matter what on this map. So again, with the best picks down the lanes, I think it's for every single map that Barley, Sandy and Stu are going to be your best lane picks. It's just good against literally everything. That's what you're going to be looking for in Power League, just brawlers that don't get countered too much and just really strong picks. Super Stadium, you see Barley used all the time in competitive, just such a strong brawler. Even if the enemy team go like triple tank, Barley can still hold off pretty strong, especially if you just switch gadget. If you see the enemy team has 2 aggros, for example, you can just go to Sticky Syrup gadget and just counter them like that. So as you can see down the lane brawlers, I think the exact same for Brawl. You can use a lot on Brawl, to be honest. It's just all about assessing the enemy comp and trying to find a counter pick for it. Brawl is one of those game modes where there's just literally every single brawler in the game is near enough usable. You just got to use it right. So also I did pick Griff here, so I think Griff is used a little bit here in scrims, especially if you just use the gadget to break open the left wall and the right wall. It's just going to be so open, especially if you combine that with like a B or a Bell. You're just going to absolutely dominate. So that's going to be Super Stadium. Let's jump into the next game mode. All right, guys, so next up we have Gem Grab, starting off with a Double Swoosh. So Double Swoosh is a map which has a lot of good lanes on, but only a few decent mids. So you've got to be really careful with this one. Gene's going to be by far the best mid to have. And you've got to be making sure that you either ban it if you don't have the first pick, or picking him first if you've got that first pick. He's just absolutely insane. You guys know with Gene, he's just really strong in Gem Grab, but just overall with the pinching with the lanes, just having the ability to just change the game really easily is just absolutely insane on this map, especially with all the sneaking around. He just kind of suits that role. So yeah, he's going to be the best. Stu going to be insane as always, and Sandy's going to be really good down the lane or the mid. If there's no Gene in play or the enemy team picks Gene, Sandy's going to be your next best option in the mid, or like a Bell or a Sprout. I think there's only a couple of mids I'd recommend on this map. And then going into the lanes, I think Amber is the next best lane, especially if you send her down the right using the Wild Flame star power. So what most people do on this map, they'll use a gadget to get their first super. They'll obviously be scouting the right hand lane, and once they get that first super, they'll be throwing a super into that middle area, just destroying all the bushes, and it makes it really easy for you to see obviously where the enemy is trying to pick up those gems. So it just allows you to just dominate the middle gem mine. A lot of the times it's just bouncing back and forth between the gem mine, obviously because they're fixed spawns now, so that's kind of helps you disrupt that pattern, makes you be able to push up when available. So yeah, Amber going to be absolutely insane. Tara going to be really strong with her pet. Spike going to be insane with his new gadget. Belle going to be really strong down the left-hand side to counter enemy Amber, for example, because you can free-shot her. But also, if you push up in the left, you can shoot into mid really easily with Belle. So you see that a lot of time. Belle just absolutely dominates on this map. Pam really strong. Good counter to Amber, and just really strong down that right-hand side. Crow really good in Gem Grab with his slows, and Leon really good down the left hand side, especially if you use this gadget behind that wall, giving your mid invisibility and giving yourself invisibility, a really strong mechanic. So that's going to be Double Swoosh. Let's jump into the next map. Okay, so next up we have Harder Up Mines. So again, the best mid on this map is going to be Gene, just really good at scouting down the lanes and just really good obviously healing up your teammates down in the passive lanes. So that's going to be the best mid. Stu just going to be by far the best brawler in the game right now. You got to make sure you're banning him if you haven't got him first pick. Rico, again, most of the time people don't really ban Rico on this map, but he's just absolutely insane on Harder Up Mine. It's always been one of his best maps, but with that gadget, I don't think anything really counters him until his gadgets are all used up. So if you got Rico, go down that right hand lane, you're going to just absolutely wreck everything, and make sure when you get your super, you can super into the mid. You're going to get insane value right there. So Leon's going to be the next best pick. I think he's absolutely insane on Harder Up Mine, especially if you put that gadget behind one of the back walls there. So basically, you're going to get that gadget into the middle brawler as well. So you're going to be staying invisible, trying to get your super, and then the mid as well is going to be really sneaky, you know, popping in and out of the grass, popping around the gadget as well. They're going to win their mid really easily with that gadget. So it's just super strong mechanic. Definitely make sure to use that if you've got the new Leon gadget. So Sandy going to be really strong as well. So most time with Sandy, you're going to be sitting down the left, waiting for an enemy to push up, and then just destroying them with your gadget with the mid as well. And then once you get that super, you should just be able to push the enemy team all the way back into spawn, and then you get into their bush and you're just going to wreak havoc with a Sandy. Belle going to be a really good alternative pick in the middle if you can't get a Gene. And then also if the enemy team picks a Belle, Piper's just a good counter pick to that. So Rift's going to be really insane down the lane as well, because what you can do, just play really defensively, give your power up to the mid, and the mid's just going to destroy even more. Rosa and Mortis going to be really good combined together, because you got the Rosa slows, you got Mortis who can just destroy basically every single lane except for probably Sandy. But even Sandy, once you burn those gadgets out, you can destroy with Mortis. And then Sprout going to be pretty decent down the lane. So that's going to be Harder Up Mine. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so now jumping into Minecart Madness with the best picks and bans. I think Sprout is absolutely insane on this map. It might not be as good in the lower ranks, just because a lot of people tend to use aggro more. So if you want to use a Sprout, make sure maybe at the lower ranks to pick him towards the end of the drafting period. But definitely if you're getting towards like the mythic, the legendary, and all the way up to masters, Sprout Sprout is probably the best first pick to have. Most people ban Stu, not a lot of people ban Sprout, and Sprout's just insane. Even if you counter him, just the mechanics of having the walls to be able to block off certain choke points and just force them into certain positions, it's going to be really easy to take them down. That's why Sprout is so good. So Gene's just going to be really good again because you can use him mid or lane as just really strong with the magic puff star power. Then you got the likes of Bell. Again, you can use middle or lane, depending on what you need her for. She's just so strong. Spike is insane in Minecart Madness now. Everyone is starting to use him here, especially with that new gadget. With the curveball, it's just so strong. Crow, always been good at Minecart Madness with the slowing toxin gadget. Amber, really strong. Not as strong as the likes of Crow and Spike, though. Can get a little bit countered by those two brothers, so be careful of that. But just overall, the pressure that she can put out with that gadget, just really strong. Then you got the likes of Piper and Byron. Byron can use it as a mid or a lane as well. He's going to be really strong in lane because he can just heal up your mid and then also counter a lot of squishy brawlers like Spike and Crow. Especially once you get your splash, it's going to be really easy to confirm the kills. Griff going to be really strong, especially if you just break that left hand wall in the middle. You're going to be able to just dominate really easily. That's kind of the other way you get spawn traps if your enemy team pushes up to that wall. So Griff with that one gadget, just being able to break that open is just a really strong mechanic. So that's going to be Minecart Madness. Let's jump into the last one. Okay, so last up on Gem Grab, we have Undermine. And again, the best pick for the middle is going to be Gene. I think for this map alone, it's definitely worth trying to get that mid brawler first because there's not really many other good options on this map. Gene's just by far the most superior mid on this map, so make sure you're banning that or getting him first pick. And then down the lanes, there's a lot of really good options. Again, Stu's going to be so dominant. Tara going to be probably the best lane on this map, just literally because of her pets. Her pets can just force the enemy all the way back into the grass. Basically, a normal attack just perfectly scouts the grass. And then once you get that super, it's really hard for the enemy team to actually push it back. So with this map, it's really spawn trappy map. Make sure you're trying to win that first engagement as much as possible. It's going to be so crucial in winning the game. If both your lanes win at the start of the game, you're more than likely, probably like a 90% chance you're going to win the entire game just because of how easy it is to kill the enemies when they're pushing back into you. So next best pick, Spike going to be really insane with that gadget. You can just tank a lot of shots and stay behind it, get that healing once it gets destroyed, and the curveball just going to easily scout the grass. Crow with a slow toxin. Amber with a super, being able to break open the grass when needed. Sandy going to be decent as well. Just make sure you're not getting pinched. It can be really easy for Sandy because to get pinched because he hasn't really got the range. Just make sure you're being really sneaky, trying to get as much value as possible. Piper and Bell, the next best picks in the middle, and then M's for scouting the grass. So that's going to be Undermine. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, so now jumping into Heist, starting off with Hot Potato. So again, I thought I'd just mention that of course you got to always try to react to their enemies' compositions. You can't just literally base it off this sheet. Obviously, if you've got some game knowledge yourself and you see, for example, if the enemy team goes like triple thrower, you can just go and egg and counter that. You got to use your own logic when picking these brawlers. So, of course, you want to learn about how to pick during the live period. Make sure you're checking out my live streams. I will be starting those out again. And then also on my second channel, just thought I'd plug that again, just so you guys get as much knowledge as possible. Trying to help you guys out as much as possible to push your way to masters. So, Hot Potato. Stu going to be insane with that new gadget. Just being able to break open those two pieces of walls in the middle, it's going to completely open up the map and just allow the longer range brawlers to dominate a little more. So Stu going to be insane. Barley again down the lane. It basically, when you're facing off against a Barley, you have to always try and pinch out the Barley with two people. That's because the walls, the way this map is just so strong. So as I said, always requires two people to pinch him out. That's why he's so strong on this map. Rico always been strong on this map with all the walls, all the bouncing. It's absolutely insane. So next best picks. So in the middle, Colette is by far the best mid on this map if you use the shield star power. A lot of times you can just push up into that grass, super to safe, go back into the bushes with your shield. It's going to be really hard for the enemy team to take you down. Ruff's going to be really strong against everything and can be really good against the likes of Barley once you get two supers. So you want to use two supers to break open those mid walls, and then Barley won't be able to dominate as much. Dynamite, a really good pick. As soon as the enemy team, if they get a Barley, for example, Dynamite is just a really good counter to that. But the thing about Dynamite, he's going to be a bit suspect against those aggro brawlers like BB. BB Speed is used here a lot, and BB Speed just completely wrecks that Dynamite, so you've got to be careful there. Spike, a good option. Edgar are actually pretty decent if the enemy team, again, has like a Ruffs, like a Rico, like a Barley. It's going to be really strong against those archetypes, so that's going to be the best for Hot Potato. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so next up, we have Pit Stop. So with this map, there's not really a lot you can choose for, in my opinion. but these are going to be the best picks again. I think in every single Heist map, except for the more longer range ones, Stu, Rico, and Barley are going to be by far the best options. Even if the enemy team tries to counter Barley, you can easily just go a counter pick to that counter, if you get what I mean. So Barley, really strong option for sure. You can put him down the lanes, the middle, whatever. Barley's going to be so strong. Spike going to be insane on this map. I see so many pro players use him on Power League high up. Just so strong. He can easily defend the more aggro brawlers. He can deal with the control brawlers as well. Barley going to be the only real hold counter to Spike, in my opinion, on this map. So Spike's so strong. BB speed is going to be insane because, again, there's like really close walls. And if you push a BB, she's just going to easily be able to knock you back into the walls and just destroy you. So BB, a really strong pick on this map. Got the likes of Bullet and M's on defense. Bull's going to be really good with all the walls. Going to be easy to get your super. Then the likes of Dynamite, Nita, and Egg are a bit more off-meta picks, but again, it's not really a lot you can go on Pit Stop, in my opinion. Just got to try and use one of these brawlers. That's going to be Pit Stop. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so next up, we have Safe Zone, the only long-range Heist map inside of a Power League rotation at the moment. So these are going to be the best picks. Stu, as always, so strong. Colette going to be insane down that left-hand lane. Colette in Heist, you guys know, just absolutely crazy. So make sure you're trying to get her. Rico is going to be the next best one. In my opinion, you need to be using Rico with a wall break. So for example, if you get that Rico on lock, make sure you're trying to suggest to your teammates as well to pick up that Brock or a Colt. You want to be using their gadgets to break open the right hand side, and then Rico is just going to absolutely dominate on that right hand side. So the way you want to play Rico is you want to just be constantly just bouncing on the right hand lane. Nothing's going to be able to push you up if you're consistently bouncing on that right hand side, and then you can pop your gadget as well. There's a lot of narrow lanes, and you're going to be able to heal up so easily. So you want to be making havoc, pushing up to all the way to the right top corner and just destroying the enemies. If you've seen any of my gameplay on my main channel on this map, that's exactly how you want to play Rico. He's so crazy on this map, really underrated. Definitely try him out if you haven't already. So next best picks here, again, I'll try and stay away from the mid because there's only like 3 mids you can go here, like a Bell. You can go a max, to be honest, actually, so there could be 4 mids. Bell, Piper, Byron, they're going to be the strongest, so try and leave the mid towards the end, because if the enemy team picks that Bell, you can just pick the Piper to counter it, and then you can see the other lanes as well. So not really too much to pick in Safe Zone, but these are going to be the strongest options. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, so jumping onto the final Heist map, we have Spring Onion. So this one is like none of the other Heist ones. It's a very base race type map. You can see by all of the grass. So as always, the best picks on this map, well, on Heist mainly, you're going to be Stu, Rico, and Barley. So Barley going to be really strong down the right lane. Rico going to be good in either lanes or mid, and then Stu just good everywhere. So best pick in the middle is Amber. So once you get that first super, make sure you're destroying as much as the enemy side grass as possible. So it allows you to know whether the enemy is obviously sneaking into that grass, and just allows you to keep control a lot easier. So Amber really strong on this map. Spike really strong down the lane, really good at scouting the grass with the curveball, so that's why he's so strong here. And also, if you get onto the safe, you can deal at least like 4k per shot if you get on top of the safe. So do not leave that Spike on your safe if they've got it as well. Just deals so much damage. Jessie really good at sneaking in the grass, at shotgunning people. A lot of the times she can just 2-tap, well, no, 3-tap a lot of these brawlers. Tara going to be really good at sneaking with the pets, and the best thing about Tara is once you get one super, you can sneak into the grass, easily get that kill, and cycle that super really well. Belle going to be strong in the mid, and then the lane brawlers as well. Bull, Nita, and BB going to be all good base race brawlers. So that's going to be Spring Onions. Let's jump into the next game mode. Okay, so now moving into the next game mode, we have Hot Zone, starting off with Dueling Beetles. So a map I've not got the chance to play too much. There's a few maps in the Power League rotation that I just never seem to get, but this is one of them. So Dueling Beetles, don't think too much has changed from last time, but except for like Sandy. Sandy's going to be really strong on this map because you can push up to those mid walls. The stun gadget going to be so crucial in getting that early control, so make sure you're using those to good effects. Amber going to be really strong because, again, the narrow lanes with its super, it's going to be able to easily control one of the lanes, forcing the enemy to go into one of the other 2 lanes, and thus just making it a lot easier for you to get those kills. Stu insane everywhere. Jean is really strong on this map because he can just easily shotgun a lot of the people. What I mean by shotgun is just getting to the enemy's faces and 3-tapping a lot of them. That's what I play Jean like on this map. You can just be really aggro with him and just allowing your teammates to heal up as well with that star power. Tick going to be really strong. I tend not to use Tick too much though, because once you lose control, it can be really hard to regain control with a Tick because aggro brawlers are just going to destroy you. Bell going to be really strong in the middle down the lane. Bell's shot just allows you to cover that lane so well. because it's such long range, and it's not like Piper where you have a slow reload speed. Belle is just one of those brawlers which can just deal insane damage up close and at far as well. With Griff, you can easily break open your defensive walls. So literally 2 gadgets, you're going to break both the left wall and the right wall, just going to open up your mid, and that's just going to allow for longer range brawlers to dominate a lot more. So I would say, like, if you're going to be using Griff, use like an Amber, like a Belle, a Jean, something like that, and you're going to just dominate the enemy team. Likes of Surge going to be really strong, especially if you're up against brawlers that he can free tap. Lou going to be really strong with that super, getting a lot of control. Penny can be good if you put that turret down the left or right, and Sprout going to be one of those last pick options. So that's Dueling Beetles. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so next up we have Parallel Plays, probably my favorite hot zone map inside of a game right now. So the best 3 picks here: Stu, Belle, and Leon. Leon is crazy strong on this map. If you've seen competitive recently, you've seen Leon just absolutely dominate here. So what you want to be doing is placing that gadget behind that 4-tile wall in the middle, down that right hand side bit, making it so your mid brawler can do really strong with that gadget. Just, your visibility is going to be so strong, enabling you to win so many lanes. And then Leon wants to go on the offensive lane, just constantly chipping his way to his first super. Once you get that first super, you're going to be able to easily win that top right zone. So the way you want to be playing this, so again, you've got like Jessie, who can play all 3 lanes. She can play defensive, she can play mid, she can play right, so just depending on what you need her to do. Jean best on the defensive lane because he's really good at scouting that grass and just really good overall. Once he gets his pull, you can push forward with it. Amber going to be really strong down the middle or the right hand side. You just need to pop gadget once and you're going to be able to dominate. Russ really good down the defensive side. Byron good everywhere. Spike pretty much good everywhere as well. So the way you want to be playing this map, just real quickly, is obviously focusing more towards that left hand zone. You want to be making sure that you don't let the enemy teams onto that. So normally send 2 people towards that way. Well, like 1 left, 1 mid, 1 right, but the mid watching the left a little bit more. And then once you get those kills, make sure to push up, push the enemy team back and try and spawn trap them. Try and get onto that right hand zone together as a team. Don't focus too much on that left hand zone to start with. Like, obviously make sure they don't get on it, but you can just capture that later on. Just make sure you get that spawn trap going and you should be able to win on this map. So that's going to be Parallel Plays. Let's jump into the next one. Okay guys, so now jumping onto Ring of Fire. As you can see by the best picks, again, Leon is on there. So Leon is really strong in the hot zone meta. The main reason is that gadget. So make sure you're placing that gadget either a little bit far back, so just your mid gets it, or you place it on that L wall on that left hand side, and your mid is going to be able to absolutely dominate with that invisibility. You're going to be able to win your left lane really easily as well. It's just such a strong gadget to have. So again, just make sure you chip in the enemy brawlers slowly, get that first super, and just push onto the middle. You want to be focusing all your attention onto the middle first and foremost. If you get multiple people in the mid trying to get that zone, it's going to be really, really strong. So make sure you're obviously, as I said, focus that mid first before your lane, in my opinion. So the next best picks here, Belle's going to be really strong against aggro, and even if you get countered by Piper, I just think the traps on this map specifically are so strong. Literally, you're going to have 3 gadgets and just one of them is going to be able to just confirm the kill in the middle so easily. That's why I love Belle so much. Piper, obviously, as I said, good to counter that Belle in the middle. Rico really strong down the left or right lane, especially with that gadget. Amber just really strong on hot zone as always. Russ good defensively and good at giving power up to like the Bells to just absolutely dominate with. Lou really strong down the left. If you get that first super, make sure you're placing it on the entirety of the hot zone. If you're pairing it well with the new gadget, you can just cycle that super so easily. A lot of times what I'll even do is if an enemy's down the lane, I'll just throw my super on them, pop my gadget. They're going to be half frozen already, and it's just going to allow me to cycle super a lot easier. Griff really good, especially if you destroy a lot of the map up. It's going to allow your sharpshooters to do even more damage. Pam really good counter to Piper in the middle, and then Surge just really strong down that right hand side, TP and into mid. So that's going to be Ring of Fire. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so the last hot zone map is split. Not really too much has changed on this map since I last covered it, other than the fact that Rico probably is the strongest pick aside from Stu. Rico with that gadget, even the likes of Surge, even the throwers are not going to be able to handle Rico on this map. As long as you're getting insane value out of that gadget, like you should, even the Surges can't counter you because you're just going to be able to heal up for the amount of damage that they can deal. So Rico going to be insane down the right or the left. Obviously, if you have a Ruffs in your combination as well, send Ruffs right, Rico left. Other than that, Rico right every single time. Try and get him to push into the enemy spawn with those gadgets. He's just going to cause havoc Tick really strong on this map as always. Same with Surge. The only way I wouldn't pick a Surge is if the enemy team has a Rust. That would be pretty dumb. So Surge going to be insane down that left, TPing in. Sandy going to be really good defensively because even if they have aggro, he can just easily stun them and just be able to get control there. So Barley, Sprout going to be decent options as well. Probably leave them towards the end of the draft period. Griff going to be really good at opening up the map. And Primo and Buzz going to be really strong. Even if the enemy team has like tank counters, they're just going to be really good at gaining a lot of control and a lot of the zone. So that's going to be split. Let's jump into the final game mode. All right, guys, so jumping into the final game mode, which is Siege, starting off with a bot drop. So as you can see, a really open map. Make sure you're getting those sharpshooters on this map, but mainly you want to be focusing on that first robot. That's going to basically, I would say 90% of the time, dictate who's going to win that game. Whoever gets that first robot. You can easily dictate whether you want to get the second robot, whether you want to get a third one, but just overall, it's really hard to push back once you lose that first round. It's just a very spawn trappy map with this one. So as you can see by the best picks, Crow's going to be insane on that first round. You can easily tag up a few people, slow them. You're going to be able to confirm the kill if you have like a sharpshooter on your team. It just combines really well with that slow, and you're going to be able to get that first robot. So that's what I try to bear in mind a little bit more so than other things. Bell going to combine really well, the likes of Piper as well. Always when Bell is strong, Piper's going to be strong as well for the most part. Anyways, Spike so strong on this map. I played quite a few competitive games on this map recently, and I've just seen Spike everywhere. He's so strong with that new gadget. It's so annoying to try and take him down. The only thing that counters Spike at the minute really is throwers, so got to bear that in mind. Gene going to be good pretty much everywhere, just healing people up all the time. Pam's secretly returning to the meta a little bit with that new gadget. It's going to be really strong, especially on the first engagement as well. Sandy good once you push up to that left hand wall. Amber good as always. Baron, Surge, Sprout going to be really good. Sprout good on defense, especially with those walls. So that's going to be bot drop. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so next up we have Factory Rush, another long range map in Siege, just like a bot drop. So I see by the best picks as well. Bell going to be insane on this map because once you get that super, you can just mark the robot and it's going to be an easy defense for you. That's the main reason why people pick Bell. Piper going to be really strong in the middle because you can just break open that front wall, making it really hard for enemy team to defend. So that's going to be your middle options right there. Gene also good. He can be lane or a mid brawler as well. So the way you want to be playing Factory Rush is sending two people to that first bolt. Make sure you're seeing, paying close attention to the first bolt. As I said, you want to be sending two people over there. Barley going to be insane on this map because he can obviously shoot over those walls. Once you get that robot, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage right there. Spike really strong down the lane as well. You got the likes of Ruffs, just like Rico, got that bouncing mechanic. And then once you get that super, you can also use that to break open the walls close to their Ike. Don't obviously just throw that straight away into there. Just wait till the robot pushes up. And also you can just give that to your mid brawler. Sprout really going to be really good on defense. He's a bit more high skill cap, so probably if you want a defensive brawler, Lou is probably the better choice for you guys. Surge is going to be really strong, especially if you send him down the first bolt lane. Try and push him towards the middle at the start. TP onto the lane. You're going to be able to free tap a lot of different people and then get your first level. As long as you get that first level in the first engagement, Surge should be able to dominate. And then Amber always good on the Siege. So that's going to be Factory Rush. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so next up we have Nuts and Bolts. As you can see by the best picks, again, not really much has changed from before. Barley so strong down either lane. Gene just going to be good against everything. That's one of the main reasons why I picked Gene, is because it's basically uncounterable. Sandy near enough uncounterable as well on this map. You can easily see, by obviously there's not a lot of area in the middle, so Sandy's just going to be able to easily just work his way around the map. Once he gets that first super, there's not much going to be able to stop him, especially with those stuns. Spike really strong down the lane. Sprout is going to be absolutely insane on this map. I would say he's probably the best pick on this map, but because obviously Sprout can sometimes take a little bit of a high skill cap to master, and especially on defense, gotta be a little bit careful of that. But if you're a good Sprout, if you know how to conserve your walls, especially with the transplant gadget, he's going to dominate completely because his walls are going to be able to block off lanes really easily. It's going to be able to perfectly defend for the most part if you've got like those gadgets available. He's so strong here. So really good aggro brawlers as well. Even if they get countered, just really strong at collecting bolts. The BBs, the Buzz, the Primos, they're just going to be strong no matter what. Surge going to be a fairly decent choice. And then Dynamite as a last pick. I won't really pick him if there's an aggro brawler, but other than that, he's still really strong on Siege. So that's going to be Nuts and Bolts. Let's jump into the final one. Okay, guys, so lastly, we have some assembly required. Rico, Barley, Stu going to be the best picks here. Rico, absolutely insane with all of his walls. I would say he's probably the best brawler on this map. Barley, as always, on Siege, so strong. Gene, again, just like always, not really countered by too much, and just can help on that first bolt lane really easily. Sandy, going to be able to patrol the mid with no worries. Spike, down the lanes, definitely down the left or right lane, going to be a strong option. BB, really good at bolt collecting. I just think the same picks as nuts and bolts right here. Not really a lot to choose from. Make sure you're trying to get that Rico first pick because of how strong he is. He's basically going to be able to counter everything, even the thrower brawlers on this map. If you obviously see like a Sprout or a Barley or a Tick, make sure you're literally running into them and popping that gadget into the wall. You're going to be healing up so much. They're just going to burst all their ammo down, and you're going to be able to take them down pretty easily. So try and master that with Rico, but he's going to be the best picks for some assembly required. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Apologies again for not uploading this yesterday. I had a lot of errors with my mic, with my Elgato, a bunch of different stuff, so I just couldn't get it out yesterday, but luckily enough, I've got it out today for you guys, so I appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the support on this one. It took me a long time to make the graphics, a long time to think of the best picks, the strategies, you know, write up all of that stuff, so really appreciate you guys' support on this one. And if I hit, I would say like 2.5k likes, I will be releasing a tier list by the end of the week, so make sure you're hitting that like goal. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.